Welcome, friends, and welcome everyone. I always get this question that how to select the best mutual fund for an individual investor, and people make a lot of mistakes. So let's start how to figure out the best mutual fund for you, which suits your need and which is performing best in the market. So my most reliable site is Value Research Online. So let's start looking into it. So let's search on Google, and the first link is valueresearchonline.com. This is the best mutual fund rating site. So let's go into this. So the moment you get into it, it asks for you that sign in, sign up. You don't require sign up initially. Let's just go to the fund section. Now within this fund sections, it describes multiple funds available for you. See, these are kind of ads, you should avoid them. So you get multiple kind of funds available for you. So within the fund section, now let's go, and you can see tax, wealth, income, wealth builder funds. So before I move, you should go down in this site, and once you go more down, then you see fund category returns. So this is the thing where I'm talking about. So let's see. So basically, I'll see first there are a couple of funds, equity. So in broader category, we divide mutual funds into equity, which is the broader category equity. And within the equity category, there are subdivisions. We'll talk about them. If you should see down, then we have a debt fund. So debt fund are primarily involved in the debt market, like the way your house loan, your personal loan. So those kind of things are debt market, or some company offering a issue note or paper note at a fixed interest rate. That's known as debt market. And then we have hybrid. So the hybrid here implies for both combination of equity and debt. So remember, equity always stands for the equity market, which is like your stock market. And then in the last we have commodities market, which involves trading in the commodities. Commodities trading can involve like gold or other valuable precious metals also. So let's begin in the first one. So if you see, let's start looking into equity market. What are these equity markets? And then so as discussed, equity market stands for the stock market, how the economy is performing, how well it is doing. So the first one which you can see is this equity large cap. So large cap implies for the funds who have the capital too high in the market, like RIL, like Infosys. So these stuff or these shares contribute heavily in the Indian stock market. I mean to say, their overall capital is very high compared to a very small company. Similar way, we have large and mid cap. So this basically is what is a mid cap? So we have divided the equity market into three segments: large cap, mid cap, and small cap. So remember, large cap as the well-established company. Mid cap are the companies which are below large cap and whose market value is lesser than large cap, as well as they are kind of growth companies or growing on. And then we have a small cap. So small cap usually implies that the companies which are really very small or going on. So the division stands from equity market is large cap, which are well established company, then mid cap, then small cap. So if you see, the first one is large cap and large cap, second is large and mid cap, which is a combination of both of them. Third is multi cap. Multi cap means you can have any large, small, or mid, any of them. Fourth one is mid cap. Next one is a small cap. What is this value oriented stands for? So let's say there are a couple of ones. It can be anything from large to small cap, where basically you know that this is underrated, or this business is going very fast and this mutual funds can give very good returns. So we call them as value oriented. Okay. And now next one is ELSS, equity linked savings schemes, which you use under section 80C and through which you get, right now in India you get 1.5 lakh tax redemption or tax saving on top of that. Then we have sectorial fund. So let's before we go further into sectoral funds, so let's see. Large cap is the most stable funds. Their return may be low, but they are very stable. Second one is mid cap. Mid cap is a fund which is less risky than a small, which is less risky than a small cap, but more risky than large cap. So large cap is more stable, mid cap is second level stable, and small cap is the fund which is the most risky. Sorry. So here you have a couple of all these funds, large cap, small cap, and mid cap. Now, equity linked savings scheme, most of the people invest in D2 ATC, 1.5 lakh. Uh, Next one is your sectorial banking. So remember, this is sectorial funds are very risky. So what they exactly do is this: they divide your equity market into a given sector. So let's say we have multiple sectors: pharma sectors, banking sector, technology sector. So they invest specifically into those kind of sectorial funds. So it's most risky. So it means it have a very less diverse exposure. It is only concentrated about that particular industry. Next one is thematic. So thematic funds usually are your theme-based funds, which are mostly like PSU, energy, MNC. So MNC can be in any sector. Okay. PSU can be in any sector. It is not a sectorial fund. So that is the difference. So theme means we are dividing the category or categorizing the industry, whether it is MNC, whether it is a PSU. So they will specifically involve with those kind of companies. So this is less risky. But the most risky fund is your sectorial fund. Let's go down. What is this equity international? Equity international stands for your funds which have exposure to the international market. So from primarily from the India market, they start investing into the US market, Chinese market, or Europe market. Next one is debt long term. These funds are long duration. So basically, these are bonds which are based upon long term maturity, where the company invests mostly into the debt fund, or basically you can call it as FD based fund and or commercial paper based fund, where it is for very long duration. And then you have medium to long duration, then medium duration, these are short duration, low duration, ultra short duration, and then you have liquid fund. So liquid fund mostly involves in overnight funds, 1 or 2 day fund. Money market, overnight is also one of the categories. So liquid and overnight, they're segregated here. So liquid invest mostly into 2 3 months, 2 3 days, 5 days, like that. And money market and overnight funds, they are more shorter duration term. Now you can see you have debt fund divided into the dynamic bond, corporate bank, credit risk, banking, and PSU. So again, they have, as we saw in the equity market, they are based upon the individual bond type. So if it is a PSU bank bond, or it is a dynamic bond. So depending upon the investment, they invest there. Now let's see. We'll not talk about all these because these funds don't give usually very good returns. They are like normal funds. Let's talk about hybrid, aggressive hybrid balance hybrid. So what is a hybrid fund? Hybrid fund is basically a combination of both equity and debt fund. So basically it is primarily both the exposure of equity and debt, and depending upon the ratio of the equity and debt, they are known as aggressive. So aggressive stands where the equity is more in the composition in the hybrid fund, and balanced is where equity and hybrid both have, sorry, equity and debt both are nearly in equal manner. Conservative where the debt is more into picture, and this way arbitrage fund. Arbitrage fund is like mostly exploiting the arbitrage opportunities. Like if this fund is getting sold here at this price and that is getting sold at that price in BSE and SE difference, then you probably start creating arbitrage